set myself out a challenge. I wanted to create a Star Wars micro short. Nothing special, just put some characters together and create something really, really cool. So I started off by building my characters, which are the only two in the actual short. There is Vader and obviously Stormtroopers. After I built my characters, I started on blocking it and planning the actual shot with some cameras. First of all, I added some lights, spotlight, and then I started building my character like the TIE fighters, animated them and seeing how they would look. Then I created a landscape, very sort of basic landscape using the landscape tool. Brought my animated character in and started blocking out the sequence. Now what I did know is I wanted the character to be sort of running away because you knew Vader was after him. Obviously the title of the sketch is called Traitor, and then this guy is literally running towards the TIE fighter to escape. I thought to myself, I didn't want to do too many scenes, like 1 scene, 2 scene, 3 scene, 4 scene in separate comps. So I decided to put everything in the single comp. So after I did that, I created a point cloud and created some volumetric fog, which obviously came out sort of like this. I went into sort of shading tab. I started sort of playing around with the fog system, which is simple and very, very basic. So I connected the volume to the volume tree, made the colour sort of like a subtle blue, brought the density up to 0.495, and then I sort of ended up with that sort of look. I wanted that sort of eerie, sort of sand dune-y feel to the actual scene. Then I started to bring in some more point lights into the scene. I framed the camera up and placed it where I wanted to, where I wanted my character to be. As you can see, we've got the camera here. I'm just going to go into the camera system. And I wanted some background, something happening in the background as he's sort of running away as well. So obviously we bring Vader down into the sequence. I stopped the TIE fighter literally just out of frame because we're not going to see it in frame anyway, so he sort of cares. And then I sort of went in and started making detailed things on my characters. So if you see here, so I pull up a render, I added a simple dirt texture to separate this Stormtrooper from the other Stormtrooper that will be appearing on the left hand side that will be shooting him. We sort of don't see that yet, but I think we see it in sort of the next sequence of the film. So as you can see, we've got Darth Vader sort of landing here, very sort of slowly in the background. Pretty cool. Some simple dirt textures. Went into my shading tab and just literally added a dirt texture to the base color. Brought the metallic, also the metal up to 0.675, roughness to 0.027, and yeah, it seemed to work pretty cool. Now at this point I was sort of one day in, so I sort of wanted to go in and try and cut the film together as I was rendering. Luckily I got a power collab system that I could basically keep working and rendering at the same time. So that just literally what I did. I was rendering, editing and cutting the film at the same time. I was sort of trying to put it together, but it weren't without its challenges. Definitely weren't without its challenges. I decided to have the output in EB, so that would sort of literally you know, help me out in my rendering process. I sort of stayed away from cycles, even though cycles would have been easily enough to do. The rendering times would have been a lot more heavier, and I wouldn't have made my sort of 2-day deadline. So next was the challenge to bring in Vader, and being such an iconic character, I wanted to get him 100% right. So here he is, the man himself. Yeah, he was a bit of a mission to get right because obviously, like I just said, he's very iconic in it, and I just didn't want to mess him up. So the first thing I had to do was obviously build him, bring him in and texture him. I knew I wanted the helmet part of him to be very, very shiny, and I think I've sort of achieved that to a certain point of view. So it's probably about 3 o'clock in the morning at about this point, and I truly, truly was absolutely tired beyond belief. I don't know what was going on, but I could not get the lights, because I wanted the lights on Vader's chest. I could not get them to work. I could not get them to track. I was going to go on to bring it into After Effects, but you know, at this point I was so tired of it. I was literally nearly 4 hours to try and get these point lights attached to Vader's chest to give that iconic glow. And probably, I know that's the only part of the short where I sort of messed up, but you know, it is what it is. And I don't think it turned out too bad. I will look into it and see where I went wrong. I don't think I went wrong anywhere. But like I just said, when I was trying to attach the lights to Vader's chest, it just didn't play ball. I don't know whether it's the 5.0 update. I don't know what it was, but I've never had problems attaching lights to objects before, tracking lights to objects before. But I did know that I wanted to keep it as basic and somewhat realistic as possible within the time frame I had to complete the project.